I'm in a better place now than I was. And I know some people, they worry when they hear about someone being discharged, from therapy, because the common concept is that once you're in therapy, you're stuck there for life. That is the mindset. That is the stigma usually. The, some people are going to need therapy for a long time. A lot of it due to specific traumas that need to be unearthed, addressed, and then learning how to move forward in life in spite of them. But then when someone like me, I have goals, they have been fulfilled. And not only that, when your therapist has equipped you with the tools so that you can continue marching forward with your life, controlling your life independently without the need of a therapist, that changes the ballgame altogether. For example, if you're in therapy, a therapist is all he's doing is just listening to you and just asking you how you feel, he or she is not doing their job. They're not doing their job. The point of therapy isn't just to sit there and have you vent. If that's all your therapist is doing, you need to get a new therapist. Period. Therapist is supposed to be helping you address the issues, engage the issues, challenge your mindset or your outlook of the issues that you've been struggling with and dealing with, and then equip you with techniques and tools so that you can not only just reclaim your life, but take control. My therapist assessed that I have arrived at a point in my life where I'm in much better control than I was 2 years. Like the way she put it, the difference between where I started versus where I'm now is night and day. As a matter of fact, last night when I was working, me and a coworker, we were talking about I'm like 2 years ago, I would have straight up had a scuffle with a customer, without even thinking twice. Like customer got pissy about a quesadilla and then try to blame it on me and this and that, whatever. Yo, I would have cussed him out or even put him in a damn headlock and threw him out the store. Sure as hell would have. Why? Because I had no grip on self-control because of how ridiculous people have gotten to where at that point in my life, anxiety would have taken so much control of me. That anxiety would have been fueled into anger and then would have went from anger to straight up violence. And then next thing you know, I would have been on next up, A News 9, Florida man, and blah, blah, blah. I ain't trying to do all that. 2 years later, guess what? Now it's like, okay. The very worst I would do is go full Jim Carrey on the guy, prostrate myself on the floor with my head with my face to the floor and screaming out loud, "I'm sorry! I'm an asshole! Forgive me for fucking up your quesadilla order." And chances are, at the very least, probably every customer in the world would have looked at that Uber Eats guy as an asshole. And then all of a sudden, he would have felt bad for being pissy at me. That's probably the worst what happened. But in reality, now I just walk away and people argue. I do not entertain it. If someone's gonna get pissy with you, get argumentative with you, and very in your face about things, honestly, best thing to do, walk away. It doesn't mean you're a coward. Doesn't mean you use a bitch. It means that you've taken control of yourself, and that you're not gonna allow someone else to dominate how you feel. Because a lot of times that's a problem that a lot of us as humans have. We allow how other people feel get projected onto us and then force us to feel a certain way. When reality is like, no, you are not going to manipulate how I feel. I am my own person. I'm not going to have an outside force put puppet strings and control my brain or control my heart. That is not going to happen. And that's some serious boundary establishment there, right? in the process of cognitive behavioral therapy is learn to help me make peace with a lot of things. Learn to just not let here's the thing. 2 years ago, it would have been the tail wagging the dog for me. Too reactionary, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm still a work in progress when it comes to impulse control. I'll be very sincere with that. There are times where sometimes I'm like, um, I can get still antsy. I'm still working on that. It's not perfect. Doesn't mean I'm cured. Again, no such thing as cure for depression and anxiety. That's bullshit if anyone tells you there is. No, no. No matter how much well in tune you are and everything, there's always going to be something that you're fighting. And that it's part of life. Struggle is a part of life. That's why everyone's like, I don't know how people can be happy with a struggle life. No, no one's happy about the struggle life. It's just, well, struggle is a part of life. We're always going to struggle against something. Either it's our happiness, our sadness, society, some bumble the fuck bullshit comment on YouTube. Something. We're gonna struggle with something. The important thing is how we tackle it, how we engage it. Either we choose to entertain it or not. Sometimes we entertain more things than we really should be. Right? Like, one of the things that helped me mentally, disengaging from a lot of conversation online that quite frankly would lead to fruitless results. Everyone's life journey is different. Respect that. Just like how you may have your views, you may have your beliefs, you have your set of systems that help you operate. People have to respect that. And in return, you need to respect that too. And there's no, well, if they don't respect me, then I'm not going to, no, no, no. Sorry, it's a two-way street. At times, yes. But at the same time, do unto others as you want done to you. So that golden rule, just it's eternal for that reason. Like, I'm sorry, just because other people are assholes doesn't mean I'm gonna be an asshole. I don't see a reason in it. There's really no benefit in it. It's selfish, actually, when you think about it. So if you want to be an individual that's not a selfish prick, just go to that. You know what I mean? It's very simple when you think about it. You know, and it's for that reason that I think also there's such a um, openness for myself when it comes to loving my kid. Like, for example, I go, like I mentioned prior, I go to sleep, I think about how much I love my kid. I wake up, I think about how much I love my kid. Yeah, my kid's growing. She's growing, you know, and I know there are other growing pains along the way that's coming, but that's my little one. She is my only one. And I have to do the best I can with that. There is no alternative for me. That is my absolute, right? And of course, there will be bumps, there'll be hurdles, maybe some plateaus. It's going to happen. But those are things that I value. Those are things I cherish and care about. And this also means, as I mentioned before, keeping myself in check, making sure that when I check myself, that I'm in a good state of mind. I am in a better state of mind when it comes to my kid. Because when you're in a good state with yourself, your state with your kids can be even better. It just is. Now, if you're in a bad state with yourself, guess what? You need to put yourself on timeout. You need to figure your shit out before you engage your kid. The last thing you want to do is engage your kid with anger or frustration, because guess what? It's gonna come bounce and fuck you in the face. Sorry, I know there's a little grotesque there, but yeah, the last thing you want to do is engage your kid with anger. Not as in the kid's angry, but rather you being angry and then going towards the kid on it. No. Sit your ass down. Figure yourself out first. Get yourself in a positive mind frame, right? Then engage your kid. It's going to get better. It just will. And the kid gets all hustle fuss. Guess what? That's part of life, bro. These kids are growing. Their hormones are changing. And guess what? Remember this. You yourself was a child. You yourself were a child once. You yourself were that annoying little brat. Remember that. Some of us need to stop playing victim as though we were these innocent little children. Guess what? Every kid out there that you complain, oh, these kids are brat. I hate children. Once upon a time, you were that kid. Once upon a time, you were that jackass that picked their nose and flicked a booger at a 55-year-old man. Remember, we were all little assholes as a kid at some point. There was some point where I gave a kid the middle finger in kindergarten and my dad had to hear about it. There was a point where I talked too damn much in class, and as a result, my first grade teacher gave me a shit ton of homework as a punishment. There was a time where as a kid, it was 5th grade, and I let out the greasiest, nastiest fart in the school gymnasium while waiting to go to the lunchroom. Think about these things, folks. Whenever you look at your kids and you get all pissed, you remember you were their reflection in part of you. There's a part of their shenanigans that is 100% your fault because you did that same shit when you were their age. Remember that. Yes, kids are different, but guess what? Additionally, in a very complex way, sometimes kids, they resurface a lot of silliness that we did at their age. But now, that little mini you, they ain't got your mommy and daddy to help navigate. It's you now. So now it's the ball's in your court now to help them to navigate, to really get in the right direction. Also, another important thing is deep breathing and meditation. That was actually very encouraged by both my therapists, my general as well as my CBT. Taking time to breathe so that when anxiety takes over, and let me tell you something, you decide to take deep breaths and you got a paper bag, go the fuck right ahead. If you want to use a bag and breathe into it like a mofo, do it. Just do it. No, for real. Do it. Get that out your system, folks. So that way, when you engage whatever problem or crisis is at hand, you're more level-headed. There's one thing I definitely learned. Being angry off the handle will not get you anywhere in life. I don't care who the hell you think you are. I don't care if you're the President of the United States. I don't care if you're the Prime Minister. I don't care if, your dad, a mom, whoever. Acting upon the fuel of anxiety will not get you anywhere. You may think it might, but it's gonna come get you later. It'll come back with receipts and everything. It'll come back with a soul claim. So please think on that. And honestly, those are things that made me reframe, rethink how I engage things. From looking at finances, be like, oh crap, I got this bill coming up. All right, what do we do? Not panic. Panicking don't get you nowhere. It's like, okay, bill's coming. Okay, I can pay this day. All right, let's calculate. All right, what do we got to do? How do we navigate this? Problem solve, people. Problem solve, problem solve, problem solve. Matter of fact, that's probably the most elementary thing we were taught in elementary school as kids back in the 90s. Problem solving, not, oh, let's just dodge this and do something else. No, problem solving. So if there's anything you feel like you felt like you weren't sure of what you learned throughout elementary school in math class, guess what? The words problem solving should have forever been etched in your brain. Solve the problem. Don't avoid the problem. Don't sweep the problem under the rug. Solve it. All right. I pretty much glossed over most of my journey in these streams today here. Chances are some of y'all may have questions, and you know what? I'll take the questions and make it into a video so I can address it even further, just so, not just to amuse you guys, but also I feel like it might